Lafayette's Best Country 95.7. Good afternoon. It's B. Adams. It is time for another Y95 Live. These just keep getting better and better. And this week is one of our biggest guests yet, Mr. Clayton Anderson. How we doing?
Hey. Feels good to be up here in West Lafayette. Come on.
Man, I appreciate you making the drive. We were just saying right before we cracked the mic, he's like, man, that drive, I'm a little tired. But, man, just like on stage, when it's time to go, man, you're alive.
Yeah, it gets you going when the red light comes on, man. It's go time. It is. It did. It was a beautiful drive up here. My goodness, I tell you what, this is some of my. I love summer. I mean, 4th of July is probably my favorite holiday, but my goodness, Halloween's right behind it because this is what a beautiful time to be in Indiana, seeing the cornfields turning and getting cut and soybean fields getting cut. Pretty cool time.
I tell people all the time, driving through Indiana in the fall is you got to do it at least once, just top to bottom. Just go to the bottom of the state or top of the state and just drive down. There's so much to see.
Absolutely, it is pretty cool. I mean, you got an ocean up north, and you got the dunes, and then you get in the flatlands, the cornfields, and the farm fields. But then you get down to southern Indiana, my stomping grounds, where I'm from in Bedford, and it's just the trees and everything are beautiful, and the rolling hills.
The caves.
The caves
down there.
Yeah, it's really Indiana is. I'm such a homer, but Indiana's the greatest state in all the land.
You know, somebody should write a song about it.
I tried. Some people got mad at what I talked about it, but because I didn't put anything about basketball, didn't put anything about racing cars, but I was like, man, I didn't want to be too obvious.
But you have other songs that do that.
Exactly.
You got other songs that do that, and we're actually going to talk about some of those songs here coming up. But first, right off the bat, let's talk about your big show coming up, and we're going to mention this several times throughout the course of this segment with Clayton Anderson, but you have a huge show coming up a little less than a week away next Thursday, October 10th at Everwise Amphitheater, White River State Park, the same place that all the big stars come and play at. I mean, heck, the next night, Justin Moore and Randy Houser will be on that same stage. What's that like, just hearing that?
Well, that's pretty cool because I played a lot of shows opening up for Justin Moore and Randy Houser both, so it's pretty cool, you know. I think it's an incredible venue. I think it's one of the prettiest, nicest venues. Sounds great. I've been to a lot of shows there, and but it's a huge opportunity for me. You know, we're trying to step up to the next level. We've been doing it independently for a long time, and it's a big place. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous because it is a big jump for me. We should probably be in more like a 2,000 seat. We should be in the Egyptian room probably, but this is a huge opportunity, and Indiana's always supported me. Everyone's always showed up when I needed them the most, and I need you to show up for me because I'm selfish, because I want to show the Live Nation we can really do it.
Yeah.
And then two, part of this show is we're celebrating the frontline workers of our firefighters, police officers, EMS staff, and I want them to feel the love for the community. They're always doing. I always feel like we're asking them what they can do for us, but this is a moment that we're going to be able to celebrate them. And
well, you mentioned it, and I tell people all the time, Ruoff is great. You know, Gamebridge, Lucas Oil, Murat, Old National Center. Those are all great venues. But honest to goodness, my favorite place in Indy to see a show is Everwise, because it's almost like a mini Ruoff. It's still big, but it seems a little more intimate.
Yeah.
And the backdrop, the views.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Victory Field right there.
Yep.
You got the big hotel, is it JW Marriott right there.
Yeah. Well, I can't afford to stay there, Got to stay. I mean, I've seen it, never been in it.
And then, of course, the zoo right behind it. So it's a great venue. And as he mentioned, it's for, frontline workers. We're celebrating Indy's finest and bravest. And I know for a fact that a big chunk of our listeners here on Y95 are police officers, firefighters, EMTs. We've even got people that work in this building whose spouses are the I forget what you call them, the people that answer the phone, 911.
Yeah. Dispatch.
Dispatchers.
Yeah, is that what
that's
it is?
right.
Is it a dispatcher?
I think it's a dispatcher, 911 dispatcher.
I pulled that out from behind me there.
Well, I think you were right. But a lot of those people listen, and I know that because when they call in and we talk and we have conversations, or when they win tickets or prizes, they'll mention, I'm a police officer, so I'm in my car all day. I love listening to Y95. So if you're one of those people listening right now, get on Live Nation, Ticketmaster. I think you can find them on both.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
And
right?
actually, if you are a frontline worker out there right now, I'm going to give B Adams I'll give you a link, and if they want to email in and say, hey, I'm a frontline worker, we've got them a very, very sweet discounted deal.
There we go.
That they pretty much go for free. So we want to take care of them. And actually, another thing, and bringing it up, talking about this is, this is the first year we've done something like this. Last year it was at the Indy 500 Motor Speedway. It was fun, but they're trying to make it better. They're trying to get it more of a get it a better look in the community, get it a wider reach, and grow it. And I think long term is to grow this to where it benefits. I know this is really focused on Indianapolis frontline workers, but we are trying to grow this to affect all frontline workers in the state of Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah. And as he mentioned, hey, if you are one of those people, email me, text, whatever, and we'll get you taken care of because we want to put butts in the seats at this show. And they're getting like all the money, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, all the money is going back to, those frontline workers. So you're not only going to see a great show, but you're benefiting an absolute great cause, and you're helping my friend Clayton Anderson out because, hey, if we show up and we put butts in the seats, they're going to be saying, hey, Clayton, can you come play here? Can you come play there?
It would really, really, really help us. I mean, obviously, when I first got in the music business, you're so green and you think anything's possible, but then you start realizing, oh man, this is a real big business. So we've been very fortunate to get to do what we've done for so long around the Midwest and all over the country, really. But this will be a big step in trying to get to the next level. We got a bunch of new songs that we're getting ready to go in the studio and cut, and we're getting ready to come up with a pretty good plan. So it's going to be a fun 2025 for us, and this would be a good way to help me get the powers to be absolutely. And we just love playing. I mean, I love playing to people. That's what it's always been about for us, is playing the live show. And I'm doing something that makes me so nervous. We had a band rehearsal last night that went so well, so I'm a little bit less nervous now. But I have put my dream band together. I always wanted, I'm a disciple of John Cougar Mellencamp and Bob Seger and Bruce Springsteen and those big bands that they had big bands that were behind them. So I've put together my dream band, and we're going to let that rock. This will be the best show I've ever played in my entire life.
And Jason Aldean's front of house guy is going to be there working, mixing, so it's going to sound fantastic. And you mentioned, hoping to play in these venues more. I mean, you've played Ruoff. You just played freaking Farm Aid at Ruoff, which, if anybody's listening right now and you don't know what Farm Aid is, I'm not sure how, but just Google it and you'll realize how big of a deal that is. I mean, Willie Nelson, Dave Matthews Band, Johnny Cougar Mellencamp, and Clayton Anderson.
Woo! Come on. It was so sick. It was honestly unbelievable to even be in Willie's presence. I mean, I'm such a Willie Nelson fan, such a fan of everybody that was there. It was the coolest hang ever, and they raised a lot of money for family farmers, which was cool as crap. And to be on stage at Ruoff, I still call it Deer Creek sometimes.
Me too.
Deer Creek Clips, whatever. But it was
Verizon. Wasn't it Verizon for a while?
Verizon. It was man. It was the coolest thing ever. And I went back and saw a couple shows there, and it's amazing the pressure that I don't feel anymore
because you've played the stage.
Yeah.
And if you look up videos from Farm Aid, this most recent one here at Ruoff, you'll see videos of Clayton on stage with Willie Nelson and all those guys.
Yeah, we were there at the very end, getting up there. I was standing backstage right next to Dave Matthews, and I was like, "Oh man, are we really?" He's like, "Okay, come on," and then next thing I know, wow, fly away, oh glory, how fly away. And watching it as a kid, I'm such a our Native American heritage and stuff, and that runs through my family, and I always dream, and I'll get choked up thinking about it. I was like, man, I would always watch Farm Aid on TV, and when I was a kid, and seeing the Native Americans up there dancing and being a part of it in their dress, and getting to stand right next to one of the gals and sing. I mean, my gosh, I was holding back the tears. It was a really Really, really cool thing.
Well, I can't imagine. Again, he played Farm Aid. You've played at the Indy 500 twice. I think you opened up for Zach Brown Band and Keith Urban. Is that right?
Yeah. We did that. That was about 40,000 people out there. I walked on stage. I was like, oh boy, I didn't know there's that many out there. It was awesome.
So you have played some incredible crowds, some incredible venues. I mean, think about it. How many people can say they've played Ruoff, Indy 500? You have played at Old National Center.
Yeah.
Old National Center.
Yeah.
And now soon to be Everwise Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that. But
played the old Neon Cactus up here too.
You did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we headlined the show up here a long time ago and did really well. I'd love to come back and play. I hear it's good.
Ethan,
good.
are you listening?
Yeah.
Ethan. No, Ethan. He actually that makes sense now because he asked me about you, and then the promoter asked me about you.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get that in the works.
Yeah.
But don't wait for Clayton to come back and play the Cactus. Get your tickets and go see him at Everwise Amphitheater, downtown Indy, next Thursday. That's less than a week away. That's October 10th. Get to Live Nation, search Clayton Anderson, or just go to Everwise's website, and they'll have the list of all the shows. And please get those tickets. I tell people all the time, Clayton's records are great. His singles are great. I could probably sing every song he has by heart. And every time somebody asks me what my favorite Clayton Anderson song is, it changes every time, depending on my mood. But there's just something about seeing you live. You are a fantastic live performer. And I'm not just saying that. I might be a little biased because we're friends, but it's true. You are fantastic live. I encourage everybody to get out there, get a ticket, and go see Clayton next Thursday at Everwise Amphitheater. He's going to sing us one coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. He's going to sing us a song. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some more. You've been in a whole bunch of national commercials. We're going to talk about that. I've even got some clips of them. So a song by Clayton, some more talking, and another song. Stay right here on Y95. It's Y95 Live. B. Adams with Clayton Anderson. Back on Y95, it's Y95 Live. It's B. Adams hanging out with my good buddy Clayton Anderson. Man, we see each other often. I go to shows, we've hung out, but I haven't had you on my radio station or done a radio interview in probably 4 years.
I know, man. It's been a while.
So it's good to have you back in studio with me. We've already been chatting for a while. If you missed that, don't worry. Our buddy Sean will have a good video of it up for you. But let's go ahead and hear you sing one. You're playing the Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park, less than a week away, Thursday night, October 10th. And people want to hear you. They're like, hey, most people should know you because we play a lot of Clayton Anderson here.
And I do appreciate it. I love when my phone blows up. They're like, hey, I just up here in Lafayette heard your song. I love it. Thank you for doing that.
So if you haven't heard Clayton, we're going to give you a treat right now, and hopefully you like what you hear and buy yourself a ticket. What are we going to hear right now?
This song here is my buddy who wrote Cruise by Florida Georgia Line said this is the greatest song I got. And so it's called Right Where I Belong. I don't think there's any other place than we belong than October 10th down in Indianapolis. Let's go. Yeah! Same old farm, same old dirt road drive. Same old creek I jumped 1,000 times. Same old spot where I dropped this blanket on the ground. And get that same old kiss that I can't live without. Oh, I'm right where I belong, and got a good thing going on. But it ain't no sweeter easy going, ain't no softer summer breeze, ain't no place I'd rather call home. But oh, I'm right where I belong. Same old neighbors, same old night and way. Same old houses need a coat of paint. Same old corner drugstore that we all go to. Same old, don't be a stranger, y'all come back real soon. Oh, I'm right where I belong. Got a good thing going on. But it ain't no sweeter easy going, ain't no softer summer breeze, ain't no place I'd rather call home. But oh, I'm right where I belong. Same old evening sun. Girl, you take my breath in that almost see-through cotton dress. The same old don't get no better than this. Somebody make a little noise out there in your car. Right where I belong. And got a good thing going on. But it ain't no sweeter easy going. Ain't no softer summer breeze. Ain't no place I'd rather call home. But oh, I'm right where I belong. Yes, I'm right where I belong. All back on the radio with B. Adams, baby. Let's go. Woo!
There it is, right where I belong, Mr. Clayton Anderson. You can hear that song and so many more coming up Thursday night, Everwise Amphitheater, White River State Park. Man, love that song. I don't know if Sean ever had the camera on me or not, but I was over here singing. For everybody's sake, I turned the mic off, though.
That good harmonization.
Yeah, that's right. Well, sometimes there has been times where Clayton's called me up on stage at shows, and I'm like, oh boy.
That Indy 500 was a good one.
Oh my goodness, tell me about it. Well, there was a quick story. There was one time you played Sarah Lynn Park down in Columbus, Indiana. Great crowd at that show.
Yeah.
Cool venue too. But you called me up, and I don't remember what song it was, and I pretty much only knew the chorus. And so I was right there with you, singing along. And then when the chorus went away, I slid over to old Seth, one of your former guitar players, and just started doing the air guitar. Like, what do you do when you don't know the words? You just start playing air guitar.
Yeah, it works. It works. That's called showmanship, right?
That's right. That's right. Fun fact about that song: that one was actually featured in a movie. What movie was it?
It's called oh man, I can't talk today. It's a movie called Miracles from Heaven. Jennifer Gardner was in it. Unbelievable feel-good story about a family going through a crisis and relying on their faith to get through it and having a good ending. But I got a call from a guy, and I thought he was my best friend. He called up on the phone. He's like, "Hey, man, this is Tim from Sony Pictures. We want to use your song in a movie." And I was not.
Wow.
I was not having a good day. And I thought it sounded exactly like my friend, so I thought he's pranking me, so I just hung up the phone on him. And then my manager, I swear to goodness, then my manager called and was like, "Hey, did you just hang up on Tim from Sony Pictures? He wants to put your song in a movie." And I'm like, "I think so."
Oh,
I sure did. But we had to the end of the day to get the song turned in. We got it in. It made the movie. It was pretty cool seeing my name up there next to George Harrison's in the credits when it went up. So that was pretty. I was like, I'm almost like a Beatle. But,
almost.
Yeah, almost. And then what was really really cool is that I got a copy of the script and how they had written it out, and Right Where I Belong replaced Chattahoochee.
Wow.
In the movie, yeah. And so
that's high praise.
Yeah, I felt bad for Alan for a little bit. But I was like, he's got a lot more bigger boats than I got, so he'll be okay. He'll be fine. He'll be just fine.
If you've never seen that movie, go check it out. I believe the scene where they play your song, they're like in a park hanging out.
Yeah, it's early on. So that's one of the things. I went to the movie theater with my family, and we all went, and it was a really great experience that I'll never forget. But, sometimes if your song's in a movie, sometimes it's in the background on the radio while the actors are talking. But this is like early on, like first 10 minutes of the movie almost, and it's like cuts to this picnic scene. It's like, right where I jumped out of the seat. I feel bad for the other people watching the movie that day because
you should have said, "That's me."
I think my grandma was telling them. She was making sure everybody knew. I got embarrassed over that. But it's all right.
That is so cool. I've known you for a long time, and I didn't even realize that until I don't know, a year or two ago or something. You posted something, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So that is so cool.
That was pretty neat. My niece gets a kick out of that one.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, Jennifer Gardner. I mean, come on.
Yeah, man. I was bummed I didn't get a meter. I was bummed I didn't get that invite to the old red carpet, but that's all right.
Well, that song he just played for us is in that movie, so go check it out if you haven't already. Clayton Anderson playing the Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park, downtown Indy, less than a week from now, October 10th. That's next Thursday, this coming Thursday, I should say. Get your tickets and go see him. That's honoring frontline workers. We're celebrating Indy's finest and bravest. Clayton, don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you back, make you talk a little more, maybe sing one more song. You good with that?
Oh, let's do it.
It's Clayton Anderson on Y95 Live. Back on Y95 Live, it's B. Adams hanging out with Clayton Anderson, playing a big show next Thursday, Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park. Get your tickets, get to Live Nation, Ticketmaster. You'll see the show on there. Get you some seats and go see my man Clayton. He's going to play another song for us coming up here in just a few minutes, but we're just hanging out and chatting for a little while, so hopefully you like what you heard. I know we've had, Only Us. His song Only Us has been in rotation here on Y95 for a long time. Let It Go, or Let Me Go.
Let it go, let it go. I wish it would have been the one.
Let me go, let me go. Those are small words I'm reading over there. Leave me alone. I'm 38 now. These words are getting harder and harder to read. But Let Me Go has been in rotation for quite a while too, and people love listening to Clayton up here in good old Lafayette, Indiana. If you haven't heard him on Y95, you might have heard him other places. You seem to be on every commercial known to man.
Well, we had a good run there doing a lot of, I'd never gotten into, they call it the sync. They call it the sync world. And we had a good little run there for about 2 years of doing a lot of stuff. I kind of have backed off this last year of not doing it quite as much, but it's pretty cool. I mean, when you're sitting there watching ESPN, your song comes on, or if you're doing, I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a Ford truck national commercial comes on. I hit the Uber driver so hard he dang near ran off the road. I got so excited. I didn't know, It's one thing to hear it. It's always exciting when you hear it,
Yeah. Well, it's one thing as an artist to hear your song on the radio or TV or whatever, but then when you're seeing yourself on TV, like in a commercial or hearing yourself, we got some of them here. For those that don't know, Clayton was actually in a Super Bowl commercial for the Indy 500. I got a clip of that here.
Wherever you turn,
oh yeah,
May is in the air.
I still get goosebumps.
I do too, man.
On shirts, on socks.
It just makes me. I'm ready for May already.
Yeah.
It's October.
I was trying to do my best Trace Atkins Firestone commercial.
Racing legends
The part
becoming
here
household names.
where your song kicks in.
We welcome the world to our city.
It's coming.
From Monument Circle.
You can hear it
Gasoline
amping up.
Alley. We test our limits.
Hear that in the
Discover what we're
background?
made of.
Yeah.
We start new traditions with old friends and join 300,000 fans screaming over 700.
Does that give you
horsepower
goosebumps
engines.
when you hear it, even now?
I got them right now, dude. I really do. It makes them like, let's go racing.
I still don't know why they have not used Run Wild, the Colts.
Oh,
I say that every time, but they need to play that song when they run out onto the field, man.
I have asked everyone and begged and begged and begged.
It makes too much sense.
It's so perfect for him. I mean, we wrote it for racing, but then once we finished it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this works for the Colts too.
And that's one of my favorite koozies, by the way. I have a Clayton Anderson
yeah.
Run Wild koozie. It's got the horses on it. And
That's the best album cover I've ever had. That's so sick. It's still one of my favorite logo designs we've ever had. That was a really, really, really sick one.
Well, the Super Bowl commercial, you also mentioned ESPN a lot. I don't have the clip of it on the actual show, but this song, Nothing But Net.
Nothing but net. Nothing but net.
This one was used for, the show was actually called Nothing But Net, right?
Yeah.
ACC Network?
Yeah, this one was I felt kind of cheesy doing this one. This was actually the one that made me quit doing it because it really wasn't me.
Yeah.
I wish I would put it out to somebody else, but it's still cool as crap when you're sitting there watching. My friend was actually a host of one of the shows. She's like, oh my gosh, we're using your song. I was like, yeah.
Well, I remember before I even saw you post about it or whatever, I was in my recliner half dozing one night. I think it was a Saturday night or whatever night it was on. And that show came on. And I heard the song and I'm like, that's Clayton.
Yeah.
I look up and it was on ESPN.
Yeah.
So you've been there. This one's pretty cool. You kind of touched on it a minute ago, alluded to it, but the Ford, this was a national Ford truck commercial.
America.
This was a big one. This was a big paycheck too. I appreciated that one.
They should have gave you a nice big old Ford truck.
No kidding, right?
So Let's Get After It. That song's been used in a few. Is this the same one they used for baseball?
Yeah, they used this. This was all over baseball, and what was so cool is Notre Dame was in the College World Series that year, so a lot of people from Indiana were tuning in and
Yeah.
getting a lot of. Actually, you know what's this is the silliest story about this song is we were doing a radio tour and we were up in Detroit, and they had right before us they had all the like the auto show people, and they had a big meeting, and then they hung around to see us perform for the station, and after I'm teeing it up with this, like, hey man, this song was the Ford Truck National commercial, and I'm just so excited. I'm like, these people are going to love it. I play it. They had no reaction to it while I was saying it at all. And I played it, and then they got so excited. I see them getting excited. Every one of them had a team. Like one guy had Texas, one guy had Arkansas, I think. All of them had a team in the College World Series, and they were hearing it every night on the College World Series
that's
because
crazy.
Those guys were playing it like it was sick how those guys played it. Like they played the song, and then we're gonna get after it tonight out here.
Yeah, they played off of it.
Yeah. It's cool.
Oh man, so National Ford Truck commercial, ESPN Nothing But Net show. We already talked about the Indy 500 and playing there. You're friends with a lot of drivers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they shut down. So our videographer Sean, who's filming this, he lives kind of down that way now, and they shut down Main Street and Speedway on Carb Day, and you get to play to. The rain kind of took away a little bit of the crowd this last year, but Main Street is packed to see you play.
I was bummed. Next year we should have had 40,000 people out there. We were going to have 40,000 people. The rain hurt it, but I couldn't believe that many people stuck around. So, and I believe we're doing it again this Carb Day. So after Carb Day,
it's become a tradition.
Yeah, third annual. We'll be down on the Main Street of Speedway. It's pretty awesome.
We'll drag Sean out. I know where his house is. I'll go knock on his door and drag him out there. And then we're talking about all these different commercials and things. We might as well mention "Show Me Your Fish" because that's my daughter Paisley's favorite song. And then especially when you had the filter. Oh my God, I had to charge my phone all the time because she was on there making filters, and we play that on Y95 as well. But you actually got to go on. Was it CBS that did the championship? And
yeah, it was CBS Sports. We were down in Florida for it's called The Catch, and I had a bunch of NFL guys down there, and I got to fish with them. This past year, I got to fish with Michael Pittman Jr.
Hey, the Colt.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. We got to become buddies.
Tell him to tell him to play Run Wild.
I know, I did. I mean, heck, I'm friends with the owner's daughter and son-in-law. I've asked them too. So I don't know why they won't play it. They'll eventually get around to it.
They'll get to it.
But yeah, the Catch was awesome, and I wrote this fishing song. Everyone's like, "What's up with this fishing song?" Because I was writing with David Lee Murphy, and it's called "Show Me Your Fish," and he's like, he hadn't heard it yet, and he's like, What you trying to say there, Clayton? And I was like, it's really Christian, man. It's really pure heart. I said, all these girls were making fun. I kept seeing all these girls making fun of dudes for showing their fish pic online. And I said, all I'm trying to do is educate these gals, saying you can learn a lot from a guy by his fish pic.
That's true.
If he's got a small crappie, he's a good old farm. He's a good old country boy. He'll catch for you. You're never gonna go hungry because he can go out there to the river. Hopefully, it's not got PCBs in it, and he'll catch you some fish. He'll cook them up for you. You're gonna be good. He'll probably grow you a garden. You're all good. Now, if he's got a bass holding up in his fish pic, now, that guy's never going to be around, and he ain't got any money because he's spending it all at Bass Pro Shop. So you might want to pass on that guy. Now, if you see the guy with a big old swordfish on the back of a big old 70-foot Viking fishing boat, you caught yourself a whale. He's got more money and knows what to do with. So congratulations, darling.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Show me your fish. Got a little clip of it here. Love it. It's just got that catchy.
Yeah. The guy that does the talk guitar guitar thing in this, he does it for Bruno Mars.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you're over here.
Here he comes. That there, right
Oh,
there.
I didn't know that. That's
Yep.
cool. There you go, getting a little inside baseball from the man himself, Clayton Anderson. over here name dropping Bruno Mars, golfing with Justin Timberlake, just living the dream over here. Well, we've been hanging out with Clayton Anderson. We're going to have him sing one more song before we wrap this bad boy up. Hanging out with him a little bit longer than usual, but it's good stuff, so why not? Don't forget, he's playing Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park next Thursday, this coming Thursday, less than a week away. That's October 10th. Get your tickets at Live Nation, Ticketmaster. Just pull it up. It'll be there. Get your tickets. You're going to see a great show. He's fantastic live, and you're also supporting our frontline workers, celebrating Indy's finest and bravest. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have him sing one more song, hanging out with Clayton Anderson on Y95 Live.
Oh, yeah.
Back on Y95 Live one final time, hanging out with the legend, Clayton Anderson. We're going to have you play one more song before we let you go. Just reminding everybody, he's playing Everwise Amphitheater, White River State Park, Thursday night, October 10th. That's this coming Thursday. Get your tickets. We want to hear one more from you, though. What are we going to hear?
This is my favorite song I've ever written. It's about time, and we've only got so much of it. I wrote this with a guy that has written some big Kenny Chesney hits. I'll just play it, and you tell me how it makes you feel. It's about young love. Billy Cotton brings scholarship out of state. Summer's back on, but the coast don't wait. It's his last cold beer last night around here in this town. Sherry's got a Chevy sitting out on the curb. She's church pew purty, perfectly curved, with the dashboard dimmed and the radio hymns up loud. Some nights you chase, some nights you follow. Hold on to me, let go tomorrow when it all ends. Don't feel no sorrow, that ain't meant to last. Don't let them borrow. So they drove around looking for this local band, put a $5 cover charge stamp on her hand, laughing and drinking and dancing come closing time. They knew they couldn't stay but couldn't go home. Once the sun came up, it'll all be gone. So they dodged a couple cops, headed out to the county line. Yeah. Some nights you chase, some nights you follow. Hold on to me, let go tomorrow when it all ends. Don't feel no sorrow, it ain't meant to last. Don't let them borrow. There were stars in her eyes, moonlight on her skin, tucked back out of sight, place neither had been. Faded jeans on the floor, steam on the glass. They were almost there when he stopped to ask. And she said, some nights you chase, some nights you follow. Hold on to me, let go tomorrow when it all ends. Don't feel no sorrow, it ain't meant to last. Lord, ain't meant to last. Some nights you chase, some nights you follow. Hold on to me, let go tomorrow when it all ends. Don't feel no sorrow, it ain't meant to last. Don't let them borrow. Ooh, yeah, only to borrow. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Clayton Anderson, Well, thanks for letting us borrow you for a little bit.
Thank you very much. I'm getting a call from a big record exec in Nashville. Maybe that's a good thing. Good vibes today. Good vibes
Good
today.
vibes, baby. Good vibes. There's going to be good vibes Thursday night, October 10th, this coming Thursday, Everwise Amphitheater, White River State Park, downtown Indy. Get your tickets, Live Nation, Ticketmaster, and go see Clayton. Again, this is benefiting all of our frontline workers. We're celebrating Indy's finest, Indy's bravest, Indy Public Safety Foundation. Shout out to them. And again, he mentioned it earlier. If you're just tuning in, if you're a police officer, firefighter, EMT, you want to go to this show, reach out, email me, badams@wazy.com. Reach out on our Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and maybe I can get you a link, get you some cheap tickets, and so we can thank you for your service. Clayton, man, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me. Look forward to seeing y'all down in Indianapolis. Let's go. Let's have a big old time.
Clayton Anderson, everybody. It's been Y95 Live.